What is going on, guys? We are back with another episode of our Pokemon TCG Pocket, and in today's episode, guys, we're gonna be looking at Silvally, and just one way to play Silvally. Silvally is one of the most flexible cards I think that we have seen yet in Pokemon TCG Pocket. For 2 energy, being able to attack for potentially 100 damage on a non-EX Pokemon is incredibly strong. I believe the average stage 1 Pokemon attacks for 70 damage. So it attacks for 50 when you're not having an item, or when you're not playing a supporter that turn, but it attacks for 100 when you do. This pairs really well with its dedicated supporter card, Gladion, which does search for Silvally. So what you do is you play type Null, you play Gladion, you search. Potentially if you have a type Null, you have a 66% chance at pulling a Silvally, even if you have none of them in your hands. You get to play that Silvally, and as long as you have 2 energy onto it, attack for 100 damage immediately. It's a very, very strong Pokemon. I think this card has the ability to fit into any deck. Obviously, it's colorless. It's a self-contained package among itself, but you can use any supporter card to get this card online. You can use Professor's Research, you can use Guzma, you can use Sabrina, you can use whatever you want, and you can just automatically get to 100 damage. And I think this Pokemon is going to end up being seen in a lot of different types of builds. Today I am showing off one with Rampardos, because Rampardos is already well established as a very strong late game finisher. And Silvally, when you play it with the fossils, it's guaranteed to be your starter Pokemon. So what I have today is 1 Cranidos, 2 Rampardos. Basically, Rampardos is your 130 attack finisher at the end of the game. Type Null is able to kind of do coin flips to kind of get attacking early game. So when you're going second, this is really efficient. And the thing is, this deck does struggle to go first, but it's fine, right? You have Sabrina here to kind of like slow things down a little bit. Again, we already talked about Silvally. We only need to run 1 Pokeball. The idea behind this is that you play your Pokeball before you play Gladion, and that way there you guarantee Silvally, but in certain situations, Gladion is basically just an extra Pokeball for you, which is really, really nice. 2 rare candies to go with the Cranidos as the way to get Rampardos online as fast as possible. 2 Professor Research, 1 Sabrina. Sabrina is chosen over Cyrus in this build. Number 1, because you're more of a go second deck, but even when you're not a go second deck, Sabrina is less restrictive than Cyrus when it comes to its effect activating, which means that you can kind of play Sabrina to get Silvally going a little bit quicker if you need to. Now, the thing that's a little bit sucky is that sometimes you're playing these supporter cards not as efficiently as you would in other decks, just to get that 100 damage going. But Iono is a hand reset. Most fossil decks use Iono over communication in almost all situations, and it just sort of happens to work with Silvally, and so that also works out well. 1 PCL, Pokemon Center Lady, that's to heal 30, as well as heal the status conditions, and on top of that gets Silvally going. Guzma takes away your opponent's items. This one is probably the most niche of them. You could add in a second Sabrina, you could add in a second Iono, and that way there you don't have to really worry about your opponent influencing this. You could also switch it out with Lima, but Lima would take type Null and Silvally and put it back into your hand, so you're not giving up a point. But overall, Silvally is also 1 retreat cost, so it's not like it's that hard to switch it out anyway. And then of course Gladion, like we said earlier, is the engine for Silvally and type Null. They're kind of this self-contained 6-card combo, which is actually pretty strong, right? I mean, if you can get a guarantee that it's like right now, Gladion is one of the only ways to actually pull an evolution card out of your deck. And so I think that it's just a really strong combo on its own. But I decided to put it with the fossil to really try to highlight it. So let's hop into a few games, see what we can do, and hopefully we can really show off what Silvally's capable of. All right, so we're here for game number 1. Ranked ladder has start. Last video I couldn't actually go on ranked. We have a not so great matchup this time though. We are going well, we have an okay matchup in terms of like it's Froakie Rowlet. Okay, so this is going to be like an old deck from last season. Okay. Wow, that's a lot of You're playing Froakie, Sprigatito, and Rowlet? That's a lot of cards that are being added. Okay, so anyways, we have a okay start here. I should be able to get into Silvally next turn. The only problem is that I won't actually be able to, I might be able to get a knockout on this Froakie if it doesn't evolve, but overall, grass is not what you want to be seeing with... There's an evolution somewhere, but it's on Decidueye. Okay. There's Frogadier, does 30. Is this thing going to be a little bit... This deck seems like it's going to be a little bit too slow. Okay, so there's Silvally. I am perfectly content going Silvally. I think in this particular situation though, I don't want to be allowing Greninja to get going, so I'm gonna Iono here. My opponent has no cards, so it's really just about what I need to get going here. And getting Gladion and a Skull Fossil and Cranidos, and yeah, that all works for me. So I'll do 100 damage, knock out this Greninja, or this Frogadier, and that'll put us in a pretty good spot. My opponent has no energy on the board. I should be able to just research and get a KO again next turn anyways. You're gonna cry for help, but like, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? And we know you only have 2 Pokemon in your hand, right? So, I'm gonna get 2 points here, but then I'm gonna get stuck. So I actually do need a second Pokemon here. I actually need 2 PCL here to get back up to 100 so that my opponent can't do what they want to do there. Okay, so Brave Buddies here, do 100. Knock out this Sprigatito. And now we're up 2. My opponent won't be able to go for the move that it wants to go for, because it has to have damage onto it to go Pierce the Pain. So because of that, it has to go for the 80 move here on Silvally, which is totally fine. It lets me do 100. And then I just need to top deck a Rampardos, which I do. Perfect. And then here it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna do what gives me the most cards though. Rare Candy Guzma works for me. Really doesn't matter. I'm gonna put this energy onto this. We're gonna do 100 damage here. Even if you heal for 50 though, you would have to have Cape as well to pick up the KO now. And it doesn't even matter. If you Cape, it doesn't... Yeah, opponent concedes. We're good. I even forgot they didn't even have credit cards in their hand. So very, very nice start. You can actually see that Iono actually really did help us. Really shows off Silvally being able to just be a frontline attacker, and obviously everybody knows that Rampardos is a massive threat with 130 damage at the back, right? So, very good game 1. Let's hop into game 2, see what we can do. Alright, so last game we were really able to show off what Silvally could do. I'd really like to see Rampardos' side of it this time. We're going up against a Charizard build too, so we have 2 type nulls in hand. I'm actually going to play them both, because when I get the fossil out, I don't want to get stuck. Okay, my opponent goes first here. So the first question is, can they evolve right away? Because if they can... Okay, so a Gladion here would be sick. Okay, I'm going to research here. Okay, there's a Gladion, so we can pretty much guarantee that we can get what we need to do. I'm gonna actually save one of the fossils. I'm just gonna play this type null out because we can potentially do 40 damage here and we get it. So if my opponent evolves, obviously they'll be able to attack right away, but they won't have the energy to do what they want to do. I'll be able to go into Silvally next turn, do 100 damage. Red card. Okay, red card is unfortunate. But we get Gladion back anyways, and we get Silvally in hand. So I think I'm going to play that regardless. But it's not even going to matter. I actually just pick up the KO regardless because my opponent didn't get what they needed. So I don't even need to play the card. This is just GG's opponent concede. All right. Well, I'm not going to really count that as a game, but I will show it just because, you know, this deck is so fast. It's so fast. So let's hop another game, see what we can do. Okay, game number 3 here with Silvally and Rampardos. We're going up against Steel. Okay, we get our type null lead, but I don't have any support with it, but I have the whole Rampardos line in the back. And they're playing Rayquaza. I'm going to need to get pressure on this quickly. I'm not going to be able to PCL, though, to get the damage if I do top deck a Silvally. So this is actually a not fantastic start for me. Okay, Pokeball. So it's Steel here, right? So is this going to be Solgaleo? Oh, this is Dialga. Okay. Okay. This works for me. Okay, so I do top deck Silvally. I'm just going to put the energy on type null and attack for 20 to 40. We only get the 20, which is fine. So my opponent right now is in they're a really slow start here. If they don't top deck they need 4 energy on Rayquaza to get going, or they need to be able to get a Leaf and switch out from here. Everything they have is 4 energy. They needed a Dialga lead and they didn't get it. So we have them on the back foot here. I just need to get some supporter card that can do something. There's a rare candy. Not really what I need, so I'm just gonna save it. I don't have any way to really activate this, so we're just going to go for Brave Buddies. And there's a world where it makes sense for me to switch out as well. Yeah, there's Leaf. They're gonna do a 30 damage. It's gonna let me have PCL though. I guess the real question is, do I want to have Rocky Helmet? Okay. This actually works for me though. I get up to the damage that I want. But my opponent's gonna get going here a lot faster now, which does suck. So I am just going to PCL here to get that 100 damage going. Again, this is an incredibly slow start here. Even, like, for this deck, this is a slow start. Okay. The nice part about this, though, they could Dawn and get to 100 and get a KO here. But otherwise, they're gonna try to probably be going to Rayquaza, but I'm gonna get 2 points out of it. Okay, so they're going for Rayquaza. They're gonna try to just get on board. I'm going to just Guzma. Okay, so Guzma here allows me some flexibility. I now get my KO, and I still potentially can live a Rayquaza as long as it doesn't go for anything crazy. And in any situation that Rampardos doesn't get knocked out, I do win the game right here. and I believe it's 4 shots at 40. But it's not smart targeting. If it attacks Silvally twice... If it attacks Silvally twice, we do win the game. It attacks for 80. And that is GG's. Rampardos is going to come in here and clean up this game. I believe the waiting for my opponent to return means they've conceded already. But yeah, I don't even need to do anything. We just got a head smash. And GG's to my opponent. Rampardos cleans up the game. And very, very nice. Very, very nice game. Yeah, got to show off both. Let me know what you guys think about this deck in the comment section down below. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in the next one.